Good morning, and welcome to Live in a Greenhouse on YouTube. If you're new here, this channel is about my journey to design, build, and then live in the first greenhouse enclosed tiny home in the United States. Today's episode covers a week in mid-October where Matt and the guys were working on finishing touches and preparing for the final inspection. So there were a lot of things happening around the site, including building the 2 regeneration ponds. Viewers have expressed so much interest in the ponds, and they are so much work, that today's episode focuses exclusively on building the ponds and unrolling the pool liner. These were not required to be finished for the final inspection. In fact, we had to erect fencing around the ponds to pass the inspection. The purpose of the ponds is to naturally clean and filter the pool water. Although mine is the first greenhouse enclosed home in the U.S., there are around 8 to 10 in the world that, while designing mine, I studied in as much detail as was available. I believe mine is the first in the world to combine the ponds and pool as a symbiotic whole, meaning we're in uncharted territory here. There are still a few weeks worth of work to fine-tune the rubber liner, install the air circulation system, line the entire edge with rocks, and then fill with almost 14,000 gallons of rainwater. That will be covered in a future episode. You'll have to wait a few more weeks until the pool is filled before starting the bedding pool, whether this will turn out as great as I've imagined or become an expensive failure. So stay tuned as we pass the point of no return on the ponds. First, Nate shot elevations for the bridge and the concrete block retaining walls. Matt and Mike have a lot of details to work out for this small space, including where to seam the pond liner to the pool liner, how to wrap the pool and pond liner around the deck and the bridge supports, and where to fasten the liner above the water line. After clearing out the leftover tile and debris, Matt and Dave cleaned up 2 sides where the block wall will be stacked and leveled the floor. The white pipe back by the house is the supply line for the air circulation system. This pond is about 10 feet by 7 feet and about 2 feet or 3 rows of block deep, so the block work went pretty quickly. checked and rechecked how the bridge will land at the deck. Then, while Matt and Nate worked on the underlayment and liner, Mike began working on the bridge. I'll cover the bridge in a future episode. The underlayment is a woven fabric meant to cushion the rubber liner and help prevent punctures. The rubber liner for this pond is the smallest piece of the 3 pieces of rubber liner for the ponds and pool, but it still weighs over 100 pounds. They're a bear to move, and to make it worse, the edge had to be aligned on a solid surface with the pool liner piece so the edge of the 2 pieces could be seamed together. They made that solid surface by making a temporary stand from 2x4 and then laying plywood sheets from the block wall to the stand. This was a shoes on, shoes off, shoes on kind of day. Once Matt and Nate had wrestled the liner into its almost final form along the floor and walls, it was my turn to make the butterfly folds to reduce the bulk at the 2 inside corners. Now Matt and Mike consult on how to land this end of the bridge without puncturing or trapping the rubber liner. Then onto the pool area. Before the underlayment, Matt and Nate removed the protective plywood and rolled the magnet to hopefully get any sharp things out of the rocks. The pool liner doesn't go between the foundation and house. It goes up the wall behind the siding, and Mike made custom straps to attach the siding above the water line. More about that in episode 25. The rest of the liner has been covered and protected against the foundation for a couple months, waiting for today. Working that liner is like 2 steps up, 1 step down. Since the pool bottom will be walked on, this is very heavy gauge material. The pool liner is a single piece approximately 20 feet by 60 feet and weighs 300 pounds. It has to be worked in stages by moving it a few feet the entire length, and then start again by moving another few feet the entire length. This is exhausting work. Before Matt can build the east pond, he has to build a retaining wall to shore up this area where pipes will run under the greenhouse wall. Unlike the pond on the west end of the greenhouse, where the sides are square and built with concrete block, the pond on the east end is intended to have a more natural look. So first, a consultation on the dimensions, then on to building the walls with sandbags. Matt has never built a pond before, so we also work through the angle for the bottom and the transition from the dirt to the sandbags.
Like you did on the other side. Smooth it so there's some back. Yeah, once you get on the vertical of the sandbags, it doesn't matter, but I think that anywhere the sandbag meets the dirt, yeah, that's
Nate had the fun job of filling all the sandbags.
so about how much do those bags weigh?
It also helps figure out the lay of the material. After placing boxes around the crawlspace fence, Nate and Matt stabilized the sandbags by filling dirt into the area between the pond and house and pond and greenhouse
Would
wall.
it help to put some cardboard
There isn't enough
down
room
on
to get the
that?
wheelbarrow
I'm happy.
any further, so Matt had to stand in the pond basin to shovel the dirt to the corner and around to the green vent stack in the background. Best to do this before the rubber liner was laid. were laid the same for the east pond as the west pond, and then seamed to the pool liner.
Head over and
And there you have it. The ponds and pool are as far as we'll go for now, so Nate can install the fences required by code before the final inspection. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share with your friends. And come back next time when we see what Mike was up to.